June 1943, Normandy invasion planning rooms. American signal officers demonstrated their new portable radio, a backpack unit, 32 pounds, 3-mile range. Every British communications expert who saw it said the same thing. Impossible. You cannot fit that much power, that many vacuum tubes, that kind of range into something a man can carry. The Germans said it louder. Their signal intelligence reports stated flatly that such a radio violated basic physics. It was too small, too light, too powerful. It could not exist. It did. The SCR-300, nicknamed the Walkie Talkie, would give American infantry something no other army possessed: real-time coordination across miles of battlefield. While German units relied on runners and landlines, American squads talked to each other instantly. While British radios failed in combat conditions, the SCR-300 worked. And while enemy signal units tried every jamming technique they knew, they could not stop it. 1941. American infantry faced a communications crisis. Existing portable radios worked, barely, under perfect conditions. The SCR-194 hand-held radio, called the Handy Talkie, reached 300 yards on good days, 200 yards in forests, nothing in urban combat. The British number 19 set packed more power, but weighed 60 pounds with batteries. Too heavy for assault infantry, too fragile for combat drops. German forces used field telephones connected by wire. Reliable, yes. Flexible, no. Cut the wire. Silence the unit. German infantry, advancing beyond their wire network, fought deaf. Soviet forces had even less. Their radio production struggled to equip tank units, much less infantry. Japanese forces relied almost entirely on runners. One man, one message, hoping he survived to deliver it. The problem was not theoretical. It was mathematical. Radio range depends on power. Power requires large vacuum tubes. Tubes require heavy batteries. Heavy batteries require strong carriers. The cycle made portable long-range radio seem impossible. British engineers calculated that a man-portable radio with 3-mile range needed technology that did not exist. American engineers at the Galvin Manufacturing Corporation disagreed. Not with the math, with the assumptions. They asked different questions. What if frequency modulation, FM, could replace amplitude modulation, AM? FM signals resisted interference. FM required less power for equal range. FM was newer, less understood, largely untested in military applications. What if miniaturized vacuum tubes could reduce weight without sacrificing output? What if battery chemistry could improve energy density? What if the radio did not need to be handheld, but backpack mounted instead? Take the weight off arms and hands, put it on the frame and shoulders. Infantry already carried 60-pound combat loads. 32 more pounds distributed properly might work. The Galvin team, led by engineer Donald Mitchell, began development in late 1941. They faced immediate resistance from Army Signal Corps traditionalists. FM was unproven. AM had worked for 20 years. Why change? Mitchell showed them interference tests. AM signals jammed easily. German forces had effective jamming units. FM signals passed through jamming largely unaffected. The frequencies, 88 to 108 megahertz, sat above standard military bands. Enemy jamming equipment targeted different ranges. The prototype appeared in spring 1942. 32 pounds total. 40 miniaturized vacuum tubes. Battery pack good for 12 hours continuous operation. Frequency modulation transmitter and receiver. 3-mile reliable range, 5 miles under optimal conditions. The backpack frame distributed weight evenly. The handset connected by cable, keeping hands free for weapons. Testing began at Fort Monmouth, New Jersey. The radio worked. 3 miles, flat terrain. 2.5 miles through forest. 1.8 miles in urban settings. All measurements exceeded every portable radio in service with any army anywhere. Signal Corps skeptics repeated tests. Same results. British observers requested their own trials. Same results. The radio that could not exist, existed. Production started in August 1942 at the Galvin plant in Chicago. First units shipped to training camps in March 1943. By D-Day, June 6, 1944, American forces had received over 50,000 SCR-300 units. Production continued through war's end, reaching total output of approximately 50,000 units by 1945. The specifications told the story. 32 pounds including battery, 14 inches high, 9 inches wide, 4 inches deep. 40 vacuum tubes arranged in miniaturized circuits, frequency modulation transmitter putting out 5 watts, receiver sensitivity minus 115 decibels, 18 channel capacity between 40 to 48 megahertz in later production models. Operating temperature range minus 40 to plus 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Waterproofing rated for tropical service. Battery life 12 hours transmitting, 24 hours receiving. Compare that to German portable radios. The Tornister Empfänger B operated on AM frequencies. 15 pounds but only 1 mile maximum range. Required external antenna setup. Vulnerable to jamming. The Tornfu Sprech F, their infantry set, reached 2 miles but weighed 44 pounds. Required 2-man operation. British portable radios fared no better. The number 38 set, standard infantry radio, weighed 35 pounds. AM transmission. 2-mile range on perfect days. Frequent failures in wet conditions. The number 18 set, their vehicle-mounted radio, exceeded SCR 300 range but required truck mounting. Not man-portable. If you are enjoying this deep dive into American engineering, consider subscribing. It helps the channel and ensures you do not miss the next one. June 6, 1944. H-hour. American infantry hit Omaha Beach. SCR. 300 operators landed with first wave assault companies. Lieutenant John Spaulding, 29th Infantry Division, carried unit number 4738. His radio worked. Water landing, under fire, sand in every crevice. It worked. He coordinated his platoon advance through German beach defenses, called for artillery support, directed reinforcements to break through points, all while moving inland under continuous fire. German defenders could not understand it. American units coordinated like they shared one brain: attack from west, suppress from east, flank from south. Simultaneous, instant, effective. German company commanders watched American lieutenants direct company strength forces. How? German lieutenants controlled what they could see and nothing more. Communication required runners or landlines. Runners died. Landlines got cut. American lieutenants talked to whoever they needed, whenever they needed. German signal intelligence units attempted jamming. They set up interference transmitters. They targeted standard American frequencies. Nothing happened. SCR 300 units operated on FM channels German equipment could not reach. The frequencies were too high. The modulation was different. German jamming gear, optimized for AM signals in lower bands, accomplished nothing. July 1944, Normandy hedgerow fighting. Captain Charles Watson, 1st Infantry Division, used his SCR 300 to coordinate 3-company attack on fortified farmhouse. His unit pushed from north. 2nd Company attacked from west. 3rd Company blocked eastern escape route. Watson talked to both commanders continuously. Adjusted timing, redirected support fire, synchronized final assault. The farmhouse fell in 20 minutes. Pre-war doctrine suggested such coordination required battalion command post with field telephone network. Watson did it from a foxhole with 32 pounds on his back. August 1944. Operation Dragoon, southern France. Paratroopers from 509th Parachute Infantry Regiment dropped scattered across 10-mile zone. SCR 300 operators assembled their units in 4 hours. Normal expectation for scattered drop was 12 to 24 hours assembly time. The difference was communication. Instead of searching blindly, units transmitted position reports. Instead of random wandering, they coordinated movement to rally points. Instead of isolated squads, they formed combat-effective companies, while German defenders still thought they faced disorganized chaos. German after-action reports captured post-war revealed consistent confusion about American communications. One report from December 1944 stated that American infantry platoons demonstrated coordination impossible without extensive field telephone networks. The report concluded American units must have had time to lay wire before attack. They had not. They had SCR 300 radios. Combat effectiveness studies performed by Army Operational Research Group in 1945 quantified the advantage. Infantry companies equipped with SCR 300 radios completed coordinated attacks in 63% less time than pre-war standards. Casualty rates dropped by 41% in units with radio-equipped platoon leaders. Artillery response time improved from 12 minutes average to 4 minutes average when forward observers used SCR 300 units instead of field telephones. Post-war, validation came quickly. Every major military force attempted to copy or purchase the SCR 300. The British adopted it as the number 44 set. Soviet forces reverse-engineered captured units. The radio designed for specific American needs became universal infantry standard. Modern infantry tactical radios trace direct lineage to the SCR 300. The principle remains unchanged. Every squad leader needs to talk to every other squad leader. Right now, under fire. Reliably. The numbers prove American engineering superiority. 32 pounds carrying 3-mile communication range. 40 vacuum tubes in combat-proof housing. Frequency modulation that could not be jammed. 12-hour battery life through complete combat day. All in 1943, when enemies and allies both said it could not be done. The SCR 300 gave American infantry something unprecedented. The ability to think collectively while fighting individually, to coordinate complex maneuvers in real time, to turn squad-sized units into precision instruments instead of blunt clubs. German forces could not replicate it. British forces could not match it. The radio intelligence said was impossible changed how wars are fought. It still does,